Obviously we want like dark and gloomy because it's like Halloween-y stuff and I love that dark and gloomy kind of vibe. But I also wanted it to be a little bit chic as well. It's like Halloween costume chic. Hi, hey, hello, my name is Sarah and welcome to another Sims 4 spooky season build video. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited because I had inspiration come to me. You know that I love all things spooky season. I love dressing up, I love the outfits, the makeup, the wigs, the costumes, I love it all. And so I decided I'd like to make a Halloween costume shop in The Sims 4. So with that being said, let's jump into The Sims 4. I'll show you the speed build of me building it. I've got a lot to tell you about this lot, so let's get into it. Alright, so here we are in Magnolia Promenade. You'll be seeing an inspiration picture below my face cam for the front of the building that I wanted to use for this building. So I very much wanted it to be like this window display looking in at the Halloween costumes. I do achieve that with the platforms that I'm currently putting in. And with that being said, just a little disclaimer, I am a competent builder, not a confident builder. So any kind of building is really kind of out of my comfort zone, but retail buildings especially, I have not really done many of them, even in my personal gameplay, so like trying to make them look good is really difficult for me. And when it came to building this building, I specifically wanted it to look the way that the inspiration pic does, where we have like the displays you can see through, and then I wanted to have the beautiful little awnings over it to make it look just a little bit extra shop-like as well. And that was all well and good until it got to this part where then I was looking at the roofing and I'm like, how do you make the roof of a retail building look good? Has always been my struggle anytime I've ever built any kind of retail lot. Honestly, I'm just like, how do you make a shop building look good for the roof? And so I decided that I would actually build a little apartment building on top of the shop so that we could then do a normal roof on top of the apartment building. It's kind of like, I don't know, I shouldn't really call it an apartment building because there's only one residence on the roof of this shop, but then I guess it would be called an apartment, right? So I don't know. Anyway, I decided to do that. At this point of me doing the floor plan and stuff, I was planning on having this build be a businesses and hobbies small business lot so that you could actually live on top of the shop. I did change my mind when it came to play testing this lot, and I changed my mind to actually making it a get to work retail lot rather than a businesses and hobbies small business lot. There's multiple reasons for that. I'll probably talk more about that when we get into a tour of the building and I can show you exactly why I decided to change my mind on making it a businesses and hobbies small business to a get to work retail lot. It just made more sense in the end, trust me. Here I am putting my mannequins in the windows though, and I completely forgot because it's been a little while since I've even built like a retail lot with get to work stuff. I forgot that you can only have 10 mannequins on one lot. So here I was putting like 6 in the windows for the display, and then I was like, yep, I'll have some child ones on this side, I'll have some child ones on the other side. No, you can only have 10. So 6 out of my 10 went in the window displays alone. But it's totally fine. I made it work. So I'm then putting in a couple of little clothing racks from high school years. This build is not a limited pack build. I didn't really want to make it a limited pack build, but with that being said, it doesn't use heaps of packs. It uses mostly expansion packs. I'm sorry for that, but it uses packs like seasons for a lot of the decor that's going to be used in here. It kind of just makes sense. It also used businesses and hobbies at the time when I was thinking of making this a businesses and hobbies small business. Again, it kind of made sense. Get to work, it ends up using for the fact that it's going to be a retail lot. It kind of makes sense. And a lot of like the pedestals and like the platforms that we have here that we're going to put decor on come from get to work. I prefer them over the ones that come with businesses and hobbies for this lot specifically. So then I also used high school years for some of the decor as well. I'm so sorry for that. But then I did also use like Get Famous for the doors and some of like other decor bits and bobs. Again, if you don't have Get Famous, it's not essential. You just have to replace the door and any decor that comes from Get Famous that I used. And then I used Life and Death a lot in here. So Life and Death is pretty essential. And then what else did I use? I used spooky stuff. Obviously, we've got like the jack-o'-lanterns and a lot of the decor that comes with spooky stuff that ends up being able to be sold as a part of this business, which is really cool. I think that's all, but we'll go over the packs at the end of this build. So at this point, when I was still thinking it was going to be a businesses and hobbies small business, I had this beautiful Life and Death counter set up where we're pretending that's where everyone would go to pay, but that wasn't the case. And then I did also put, where I've just put the skeleton bears down, I did end up putting one of the kiosks, the entrance kiosks where people come to pay, there instead, but I ended up removing it because, like I said, through playtesting, I changed my mind to making it a get to work retail lot instead of a small business from businesses and hobbies. So that being said, I haven't really spoken much about like the choices I've made here. Obviously we want like dark and gloomy because it's like Halloween-y stuff and I love that dark and gloomy kind of vibe, but I also wanted it to be a little bit chic as well. It's like Halloween costume chic, and also you'll see there's a lot of decor and stuff here. The idea was for it to be like a costume shop, but to also buy like Halloween decor like you would from like a Halloween costume shop. Look, I don't know. I know that Spirit Halloween is a thing in the US. We don't have dedicated Halloween costume shops here. We just have like normal costume shops where you can hire costumes or buy costumes, but we don't have dedicated Halloween costume shops here because in Australia, Halloween isn't a huge thing. It's definitely taken off in the last couple years, but definitely not a big deal. I feel like shows like Wednesday are even like helping to make it a bigger thing, like having the spooky elements and all of a sudden the kids are wanting to dress up like these characters and it's just fun. And I have always wanted Halloween to be a thing in Australia, so I'm definitely excited to see that it is happening. But like, just to explain how Halloween works in Australia, I mean, I've just mentioned we don't have dedicated Halloween costume shops. We also don't have like pumpkin patches. We have to buy our pumpkins for jack-o'-lantern carving from the supermarket. That's how limited Halloween is in Australia. Anyway, it's all good. We are now out of the shop floor into the residence upstairs. Now, I do have to explain, given that I have now changed my mind from this being a businesses and hobbies small business where you could live in the apartment above full-time, with Get to Work, it's slightly different. I have done this many times before where I've built like a residence on top of a shop and been able to live here through a Get to Work retail shop, but it just works slightly differently. Technically, you can't live on this lot full time per se, even though I have, but you actually have to move into a normal residential lot and then purchase this lot as a retail business. And then the idea would be that you would travel between your home lot and this lot to open your shop and then go back home. But I have had it work before where I've had my Sims be able to live here. It's a little bit finicky in the sense that bills will not be delivered to this lot, this retail lot. They'll be delivered to your home lot that you bought before you started owning this retail lot, right? And also if you're playing with multiple Sims and say they have jobs or you have kids that are going to school, when they return home from school, they'll return to your home lot, not your retail lot. It's all stuff that's really easy to work around though. Like once bills get delivered, you can just pay them from your phone, your Sim's phone. They can pay them on the phone. So super easy. And if you have Sims that are going to school or going to work and they do default going home to your home residential lot, you can just bring them to the store. So it's like really easy to work around. And I have done it so many times in like rags to riches style gameplay. I used to do that really early on in The Sims 4 when Get to Work pretty much came out. But I definitely wanted spooky, dark, kind of fun, spooky vibes for whatever family was going to be living here. I kind of envisioned like a couple and their child here, so that's the way I've set it up. But if you don't want to do that, you could even convert the second bedroom that we're working on right now into a home office. So we've got a lot of life and death in here, which is super fun. We've got some spooky stuff in here as well, but it is mostly life and death because I love all of the furniture sets that come with life and death. The black with the accents of gold, oh my god, that is so my vibe. I love that vibe. I would love to have that in a real real life kitchen from me. Yes, please and thank you very much. I love it all. And even in like the bathroom stuff is really nice. It's a shame we didn't get a full bathroom set from Life and Death, but I made do with the base game and with Life and Death. So like I said, there's more than just Life and Death that was used in this build, but I feel like I was pretty reasonable with the packs that I've used. Like the packs that are really essential are Life and Death, Businesses and Hobbies, and Get to Work. Spooky stuff as well for like the costumes and the decor that comes with that, but every other pack you could really just replace things with. But with that being said, the speed build is done. So we're going to now jump into The Sims 4. I'm going to tell you more about why I made the decision from changing this from a Businesses and Hobbies small business to a Get to Work retail lot. Let's show you the finished Trick or Treat costumery is what I decided to call it. So let's check out the finished build. Hey! Did you know that 53% of you watching right now are not subscribed to my YouTube channel? If you'd like to see some fun Sims 4 gameplay, some Sims 4 Creator Sim videos, build videos, or even some gameplay of The Sims past, then hit the subscribe button down below and join my wonderful little community of Triceratops. But with that being said, let's get back into the video. Alright you guys, here we have my completed Halloween costume shop with a little apartment that you technically can't live in, but you can live in. Trust me, I promise you can. So I went through Debug to find these gorgeous autumnal Halloweeny looking trees from Life and Death in Life and Death's Debug. So pretty just to line the outside of this building. I didn't want to go too heavy on the landscaping because the focus really needs to be on the building because there's a lot going on with this building right here, right? I mean, on the second floor you can see we've got all of the pumpkins, the big graves, but then on the shop floor you can see we've got all of our beautiful displays in the window of the costumes, the graves, we've got the pumpkins, some little signs, and then over this side more costumes, more graves, more pumpkins, more signs. The awnings, the black and white awnings to help give me that vibe that I was looking for. Look, the building shape is not my favorite, but like this vision of the shop here is like exactly what I wanted for this build. I'm super excited to come in and show you the inside now that all the costumes have been selected and all that. And this is what you see when you walk through the door. Isn't this just such a vibe? Like it's giving Halloween, but also chic. All of these things that you see here, the jack-o'-lanterns, the lolly bowls, candy bowls, but in Australia we don't call lollies candy, we call them lollies, okay? And then like the cauldrons, the little hourglass that you can see there, the spiders on the wall, all of that stuff can be made for sale using Get to Work's retail system, but some of those things can't be made for sale using Businesses and Hobbies small business system, which is why I changed my mind, because I wanted as much of what we are seeing in here to be able to be sold, even to the point where the clothes on the clothing racks can be sold through Get to Work's retail system. Those things could not be sold through Businesses and Hobbies small business system. So that's one of the reasons why I changed my mind from making this a small business with Businesses and Hobbies to making it a retail lot with Get to Work, because I wanted as much of what we are seeing here to be able to be sold to begin with, okay? So we've got the back view of our costumes. Now, technically, our Sims can't get up onto that platform, so I don't know if those costumes are going to be able to be sold, but that's okay because, like, everything that we are seeing on the floor here can be sold. It's all good. So then over this side, we've got more little clothing racks with like what I pretended to be costumes. The other costumes on the window display over here, fantastic. So I'm even just going to input some footage, I reckon, of the differences between Businesses and Hobbies and Get to Work system. The only things that were able to be purchased with making this a small business in Businesses and Hobbies were all the things that were on the pedestals here. So like the jack-o'-lanterns you can see, the lolly bowls that you can see, the Grim Reaper, the other pumpkin stuff, and the things that come on the Get to Work stands. Those were the only things that were able to be sold with Businesses and Hobbies. And furthermore, once those items are sold, you can't just easily restock them. You'd have to personally buy the item again to then put on the stand to then be sold again. And it just seemed like it wasn't going to be able to do exactly what I wanted it to be able to do, and then it was going to be more hassle. See, the really good thing about Get to Work's retail system is it really is tailored to selling things that you buy from build mode, whereas Businesses and Hobbies shop system really works better for things that your Sims are able to create. Things like paintings or like sculptures or even like baked goods. That's what Businesses and Hobbies really thrives on, because those things your Sim can be making while the shop's open. Whereas this system and the way that I've set it up with things that we are buying from build mode that I want to be able to sell works better with Get to Work system, because you can choose what items you want to be for sale, and then once those items sell, you can just click on the little out of stock little sign thing that shows up and restock it super easily. That's why I decided to make the change. It was just gonna work overall with Get to Work for what I wanted this building to be better than what Businesses and Hobbies was going to be able to do for us. But this is the main floor of the shop, so we've got so much spooky goodness. That's fantastic. But then we do also have a couple of bathrooms. We've got one over here. It literally is just like a little toilet and a basin pretty much with some spooky prints. And then if we go back to the shop floor, the other one is over the other side of the shop floor through this door. We've got some different prints in here, spooky prints, and then of course our toilet over here. So then behind the cash register, because now we're using Get to Work, we do have to have this little cash register stand here. So that's how it works. These two doors lead into like a little staff room. So if your staff wanted to sit down and grab a meal or something, if they were hungry, they could do that. Just a little basic staff room. I don't know how functional staff rooms even are with Get to Work, but I don't think they're really functional at all with Businesses and Hobbies. But if you want to use this lot, I would recommend, once you have established your retail business and you're starting to get employees, you can lock these doors to be for employees only, meaning that patrons, visitors to your lot won't be just going in and grabbing food from the fridge, right? At the back of the lot here, we've got this little fake parking lot for the people that would be living here, because we're using living in air quotes because you can, but technically the Sims 4 doesn't think that you live here, right? But then we've got this staircase leading up to the front door of the apartment, which is at the back of the building. So this top floor here is all the apartment. And when you walk through the door, this is what you see. So this is like a little entryway here, just a tiny little room for entering the apartment. To the immediate right, we have the bathroom that's for this apartment. It is a fully functional bathroom with a shower, a toilet, and a basin area. We have an open plan kitchen and lounge area. I think this is pretty cute for a little apartment. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I would be really happy to live here. And it is all functional as well. I wasn't sure because we've got such a small space in the lounge and the dining specifically. I wasn't sure whether our Sims would be able to get through and use the chair over here across from the table, but I play tested it, and yes, our Sims can walk all the way through there and sit down at that chair. Super nice. We've got a very basic little lounge setup as well. I have not put clutter on that little accent table, nor have I put clutter in the kitchen. I've just realized that's fine. I need to do a little bit more for you. It's all good. I know we're very dark and black in here, but like I said, that's kind of what I wanted. So I definitely want to put some clutter in the bookshelves here and also something above it as well. Maybe it's just some plants lining the top of it. I think would be super nice. So then we've got these two doors here. We've got this door that leads to the main bedroom and this door over here that leads to the child's bedroom. Maybe let's have a look at the child's bedroom first. Now, like I said, this room could be turned into an office if you decided that you don't want to have a child living here, but I just thought that this would be a cute little kid's bedroom. So we do have this little bed area, and then we've got like the hanging chair that I love from high school years, this little vanity, a bookshelf, and then because they're a child, we've got some child things to play with. We've got the science lab set, we've got a dollhouse, and we do have Skelly the bear from Spooky Stuff. And then for the main bedroom, what I'm saying is the parents' bedroom, the couple who own the business, which at the moment is this Sim right here. She's the one that owns this business at the moment, right? I did put the little family portrait frame that was a part of the early purchase content from Life and Death. So if you didn't buy Life and Death before the specific date, you won't have that picture frame, but you could easily just put something else up there instead. It's the only thing that I used the early purchase content. I didn't use any other early purchase content in this build at all. And then we've got a lot of like officey kind of stuff here, like the filing cabinets for the building. We've got the little computer where they probably do all their finances and stuff, because like I said, you can live here. It's totally fine. You can. The game doesn't think that you're living here, but you're living here. It's all good. And then we do have a little vanity for them as well. Overall, like, better than I was expecting. Still not a huge fan of the shape of the building. It kind of just looks like it's got like eyes and a mouth to me. But then I didn't really know how to make it better. I tried my best to decorate it so it looked super spooky and it had the Halloweeny vibes, and overall I am happy with this build. I hope that you like it as well. With that being said, if you would like to download this build for yourself and use it for your own Halloween costume shopping needs, then you will find it on the gallery. My gallery ID is sezrawrr, the exact same way it's spelled here, and you'll find it under Trick or Treat Costumery, ready to go for all of your Sims Halloween costume and decor needs. But you guys, that's all I've got for this video of creating a Sims 4 Halloween costume shop. It was a bit of a journey that I went on with this one. I hope that you enjoyed the ride and that you enjoy the spooky vibes, because I most definitely do. We've got a lot of videos left for you for this spooky season, so if you'd like to see more of them or any other Sims content that I've got coming your way, then hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell next to it to be notified of every time that I upload. And if you liked this video, let me know by hitting the like button down below and leave me a comment as well. Just leave me a jack-o'-lantern emoji, I guess, in the comments down below to let me know that you got this far in the video, you enjoyed watching this Halloween costume shop come to life, and you're excited to see more spooky season goodness from me. But guys, I hope you're having a very spooky day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!